On this episode of EatUp California, we're in the heart of Capitola by the Sea at Reef Dog Deli. We have friends who have been raving about the pastrami sandwich here, so we're meeting up with Reef Dog owner and new friend, Chef Anthony, to try his incredible gourmet craft sandwiches, which are all made from scratch. Let's eat up. So we're in Capitola Village at Reef Dog Deli, and we were getting the explanation of Reefy was actually your dog.
Reefy.
So he was kind of like a local legend.
He just was, everybody loved him at the beach. He would go to the beach on his own. Even when I was at work, he'd go to the beach.
We love the decorations you have of Reefy in here.
Yeah, so we got a couple. This is Reef and 2-6 on a big shore pounding day.
Look at no panic, ball in mouth. That's a great, happy, look at that.
That's him, just kind of how he always looked at you. He was always just such like, hey, what are you doing? What are you eating? You want to go to the beach? I had to kind of name my shop after him. This, what better down at the beach than...
Yeah, right here, your shirt, your logo has...
Yep, our logo right here, our Reef Dog Deli logo.
You got dog treats, so it's dog friendly.
Got little dog treats here. Kind of bringing the farmstead local ingredients to our deli. I mean, there's just not this really from scratch kind of style deli that I can think of anywhere in Santa Cruz where we're making our own pastrami, we're doing our own porchetta, we're doing all of our own marinades, all of our own brines, all of our own pickling.
So your signature sandwich is called the Reefy.
The Reefy.
And it's your pastrami.
It is our house-made pastrami.
And then you have another signature sandwich. You have
We have our Maestro Giacomo, which is our tenderloin porchetta. I'm gonna demo that for you on how we kind of assemble it in its last step. And Giacomo was a friend of mine colleague in Europe. We studied got our master's cert together in Southern Calabria. He's a Sicilian chef.
Hey.
We studied together and then traveled as private chefs around the United States. I've always had a dish named after him, but with my own venture now, he gets that Italian signature sandwich. And got my master's cert through the European Culinary Federation there.
Did your friend, Giacomo, show you all around? Did he take you to Sicily?
Yeah, he took me to Sicily.
There you go.
We drank limoncello till our heart's desire and ate and drank and had a great time. Gotta get my beautiful wife.
How did you guys meet?
Oh man, this is a big story. We met actually at a mixer. Before that all came about, she was another real estate agent and I was at the mixer doing a little bit of wine, doing a little bit of food, and
I kept going back for more wine.
Yeah, there you go.
So in Italy, porchetta comes from all over. You can cook mostly Umbria, kind of in the central north. They do make it in the south. It's usually a very celebratory dish, generally during Easter, but it's made all over the place in Montalcino. In all of Italy, throughout appellations and regions, flavors change. And so this take on porchetta, because I can't always have half of a pig in my kitchen, is that I'm using heritage tenderloin. And what I'm doing is that I'm flavoring it more in the Calabrese style with the fennel and the chilies and the fresh herbs and the thyme and whatnot. Because if we want every bite to be flavorful, we're gonna put some thyme. And then obviously the Calabrese side is the chili, right? So we wanna do that. Generally when we're making food, we're thinking about these animals. What are they eating? So when they're out in the fields, what are they eating? Fennel, right? And essentially what porchetta is it's the interior of the belly wrapped with all the skin and the belly fat and kind of where the bacon is. So
all this.
Which is all this.
Right.
So we're just implementing that in parts of the pig that we can easily turn into a delicious sandwich.
Wow, you're like a surgeon / chef. And is that fennel? Where do you get that fennel from?
I buy it from Sunnyside Produce, from Lakeside Farms.
Okay.
So most of my ingredients comes from local farms in this area.
It's definitely a crafted sandwich, not something that I could ever make at home.
So we're gonna just tighten that up into a nice little loin. Well, we're gonna air seal it so that we don't get any moisture in it. Gotta have equipment. Can't be a mechanic, you don't have a tool.
That's it.
Right? So there it is, right there. We're gonna throw it into this sous vide. Cook it at about 148 degrees for a long period of time. Probably this other one here is at 4 to 5 hours.
So sous vide has become very popular at-home appliance now. Cooking at a lower temperature but at a longer period of time.
You are cooking at a certain temperature in a circulating water bath. It's kind of cooking an inside, outside in. Or unlike grilling, where you have that infrared heat that comes up, right? You're heating this through moisture. And then when the time that we actually finish it and sear it, all you're doing is finishing off the outside. And I'm going to show you how.
Got it. So you're talking about a super juicy sandwich.
Super juicy.
Ah.
Now the finished product, you can feel it.
Wow. Yeah.
Because we're going to go right in the oven with this, we don't need to cool it down.
Okay.
But when we come out of the oven on it, it's already cooked.
Yeah.
So all we're doing essentially is heating it up. When we come out of the oven on it, we're just going to crisp it up a little bit. And then we're going to cool it down properly into the right temperature. We're going to chill it overnight, and then we're going to slice it. I am not a paisan. I am a mutt of all sorts, which gives me the right to cook almost anything in the world, right?
That's the definition of American, right?
Robert, one of my main cooks here.
Yeah, man.
From Jamaica. What we'll do is we'll then remove this moisture. We'll put a little olive oil on it. We'll bake it, and then we will put it in our grab and go as a sandwich called Not Your Everyday Veggie.
Not your everyday veggie. And that also reduces the bitterness, right?
It takes out the salt. Yeah, it removes the bitterness. So we provide grill-ready, hand-ready meats and seafood. This is a 40-day aged steak with a shallot compound butter and an herb stick.
Wow, what do we got here?
We've got the New York brochettes, which is basically the end of this, almost the sirloin side that we put into our pastrami rub. Remember, these are all in sous vide bags. So with our chicken, I highly recommend, this is kind of my calabrese chicken. It's got fresh herbs, fresh Meyer lemon, some artichokes, some chili in there, a little bit, my twist, a tad bit of cinnamon, just a little bit, and roasted garlic. You can drop these in a boiling water for about 20 minutes, or if a sous vide, you have a sous vide, but I like it just 20 minutes. Dump it out into a bowl, take all that juice, finish it on the grill.
Okay.
Take all that juice that's in the pan, just brush it as it goes. We make our own curry and all our own sauces here. This is a sustainable salmon. We've got all of our grab and goes, our Caesars. This is a winter kale Caesar salad. This is a shiitake mushroom and broccoli salad, which we hydrate and rehydrate. Our house smoked turkey, kind of an Italiano.
Look at that. Look at that. Beautiful, right?
Little olive tapenade, some pepperoncinis, some really good stuff. And these are the latest board bags. So everybody's doing charcuterie boards.
Yeah, right on the beach too.
But,
this is perfect.
but consider that this is the beach and you're taking your board and a board bag. You can do it right on your surfboard, right?
It's a good price
olives, too. Little salmon dip, some crackers.
And then you just go right out that door. The beach is right there. Perfect.
So we make our own house roasted nuts. These are with a little bit of maple syrup, some cayenne, some fresh rosemary. Really delicious. We bake cookies every single day.
Those are amazing. Yeah,
Lemon coconut, some triple chocolate, and chocolate chip. I want people to feel like every dollar they spend on food is worth it. Like, I don't want to give somebody something that they can just make at home. This is not a convenience store. My mission statement to this whole entire deli is Reef. I want you to live like Reef. I want you to be happy. I want you to be stoked. I want you to give love. You know, I mean, look at him. He's smiling as all hell. And,
happy, sunny,
you know,
ocean. You're at the beach.
That's okay. So here is the porchetta. Just a short 15 minutes. Fresh ciabatta baked by Golden Chief Bakery in Watsonville. They're really artisan. I feel like they're more definitely Italian driven in the way of their baking. This is our ciabatta. Beautiful texture in here. It's kind of spongy. A lot of francesi that you get around, whether it be packaged or whatnot, is that it doesn't really have this sponge characteristic, and when you bake it, it just goes to crust, right? You're used to that. We've taken eggplant and we've got smoked eggplant spread here, which is really great.
Like a baba ganoush almost.
Almost, yep. And then these are the sous vide mushrooms, roasted peppers, and charred onions. So there's a combination of like shiitakes and creminis. And we marinate those mushrooms in all these different spices, balsamic, tamari, really fantastic. So here's the chilled, cooled bruschetta that we'll unwrap. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna slice off 4 nice.
Beautiful.
With our pastrami, again, Jewish rye from the same bakery, and a nice little stone ground mustard.
You mentioned that Sam has a dog named Riley, and he calls her rye bread. So totally
nice.
fitting. We're at Reef, you would have liked that, right? Little dog story.
The Jewish got it right, man. You guys, you don't mess with it. I don't screw around with a lot of tradition. I may implement things and exaggerate flavors a little bit, but not when it comes to tradition. We've got a white Vermont sharp cheddar, which is fantastic on that. And then we're gonna take some of our caramelized onion jam.
Wow.
And
White onion.
this is a white onion, yeah, cooked down with actually herbs, butter, coffee,
Interesting.
Coca-Cola, a little whiskey.
Nice.
And this is our pastrami that's cooked and chilled for a long time.
What makes a good pastrami? What do you
So
look for?
what you're looking for is you're looking for marbling. You're looking for some leanness and some fat. So this is 2 parts of the brisket. One is the point, one is the flat. We vertically cut the point, we cut it horizontal to the flat. So we're getting a really nice, this is the flat, this is part of the point where it's a little bit fattier. Once we heat those fats all up, you'll see all the flavor that combine. Some clarified butter.
That's where that sponginess comes in, right? Of that.
This is gonna be really nice. Now, if we were vegan, we'll just use olive oil.
Okay.
And we'll put it on a different, and we also do gluten-free. So if we're doing gluten-free, we're gonna put that on a separate pan. This is the pastrami after we cure it. And what we're doing is we're just giving it one last, we'll flip them over. It's like they're little babies in here with all the different spices. And then you've got to let it sit also in water to desalinate it and pull that salt back out of it so that it's not overly salty. And that's what people do.
How long of a process is that right there? How long do you
So we'll
brine?
do a brine for about 8 days, and then we'll pull the salt back out of it for another 24 hours. And then we'll dry rub it, let that sit for another 24 hours. And then we'll smoke for 13 hours. Then we'll let it sit for 24 hours. And then we'll slice it. It's a lot of 24-hour.
Wow.
Better have some good beer.
So tell us a little bit about the history of pastrami.
Pastrami goes back hundreds of years, right? Jewish settlers brought it obviously over from what I know of it, and other people have picked up on it. The way of living was to cure or to preserve.
No refrigerators back
No
then.
refrigerators. Everybody's got the most famous pastrami house, right? Obviously New York,
Cat's
Montreal,
Delicatessen.
Cat's Delicatessen, known for it. And I can't give you all my secrets and trades right now, but I've definitely taken some of that history, that tradition of preparation in my own process and switched it up a little bit. But,
yeah, you explain the back and forth you do with it, and it's an art.
And you've got to keep it moist, but you also have to get that really nice crust out of it as well. And this is a 2-part process. Take the pastrami. Look at that nice steaming pastrami. Okay. This beautiful piece of rye. Put that there. Okay. We're going to take that part, put it on the flat top, and get it nice and crispy. We'll return this back to the oven. We want people to come and experience something different, whether they've gone to New York or not. Right off the griddle, delicious. Melted, cooked, Everything's coming together perfectly. Toasted rye. We give this to Maya. She's gonna cut it up. This is from our Castelvetrano olives. So we actually marinate our olives and use that olive oil. So this is real infused olives from Castelvetrano olives. And all that flavor, sometimes you see some of the fennel.
Nice.
We just want to season our greens, right? Every bite that you take out of a sandwich really should have that full flavor. And we don't want to give that to you in any other way. So we're gonna take our cooked mushroom sandwich here. We house make our own chimichurri.
Ooh.
The other thing we make is this vegan aioli with a little sriracha and olives, just to kind of bring it out. I gotta make it special, it's for my wife. This is called the Happy Cow.
Happy cow.
No meat,
Vegetarian option.
right?
Fantastic.
Because why? Cows are happier when they're grazing, right?
When they're grazing.
Yeah, they're happier when they're not in the butcher house.
Yeah, exactly.
Happy cow. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna put pesto. We make our own pesto in house out of whether we make it out of pumpkin seeds or pecans or whatnot, using fresh organic basil. And then we make this really killer aioli. And then we're gonna put this porchetta right on top. Second thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, what this is called onion mojo or mojo de ajo, which is kind of like a little bit of garlic, but we only use the garlic in the cure of it. This is almost like a ceviche kind of style onion that has been soaking in fresh orange juice, apple cider, and lime juice with a sachet of cloves and allspices and different spices inside the cure or the brine to get all this really flavor. This is kind of driven from the Cubans, Oaxacan. They put them over suckling pigs and whatnot. What comes from the south is lemons, right?
Sicilian lemons.
So we've got a little bit of this beautiful lemon thyme herb dressing, this kind of creamy dressing. Parmigiano Reggiano. Maestro Giacomo. Whew. Every time I make it for Giacomo.
We take that to the beach, you go show it off in front of everyone, right? We're gonna dive in. This is the Giacomo. Look at that. It's fitting that we have an Italian and a Jewish host. I'm gonna go the Italian route here. Man, I can smell that. Let's dive in. That is a good sandwich. Made here, man. Got the best sandwich in Santa Cruz County. All right, we got the pastrami. Look at the meat to bread ratio on that. That's fantastic. Oh my gosh. Wow. That mustard. But really, I mean, you're getting that traditional pastrami flavor and more. I mean, that stone mustard, but the meat is so savory. You can tell that he did that detail where he's going back and forth over a week to make this. But man, that meat, with that rub on it, it was so delicious.
I love this place. I've been here a ton of times. My good friend Jamie McFadden, shout out to her. She told me about it, and yeah, you can't go wrong with the Reef Dog. I love this guy right here. This is my favorite sandwich. You saw how much care goes into this. I mean, this is my backyard. I'm so lucky for that. There we go. That was seriously the best pastrami I've ever had. I've had a lot of pastrami's in New York too, and seriously, this is the best. I love it. It's so good. You guys gotta come here and check it out. Reef Dog in Capitola Village.
There There's no doubt that Reef Dog Deli's gourmet sandwiches are some of the best in California. It makes complete sense after witnessing all the passion that Chef Anthony puts into his craft. I can't wait to come back and grab a sando and hang out at the beach. See you on the next Eat Up.